So good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It's a pleasure to have all the attendees here today for a new Industrial Talk 2021 that is sponsored by IEEE Secrets and Systems Society Chapter Rio Grande do Sul, Calcium EDA Chapter Brazil, and now also the Solid State Secret Society and Electron Device Society Chapter Rio Grande do Sul. And today we have the pleasure to have here César Dueñas, the Director of Technology of HCL in Brazil. And but before doing a short presentation of César, I just remind you about some next events. So next Friday we have a next IEEE CAS Rio Grande do Sul talks. So this will be with Professor Nadi Bagherzadeh from University of California at Irvine, talking about some aspects of machine learning computer architecture. Then the week after, it's time for Professors Enrico Mace and Gianvito Urghesi from Politecnico di Torino in Italy, talking about the role of ICT, the Industry 4.0 paradigm, and the neuromorphic technology opportunity. Then on October 29 is Professor José Zambuja, from the University of Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil, talking about the network computing and switch virtualization walking to a bar. Then November 5th is Professor Luca Benini from ETHZ Switzerland and the Università di Bologna in Italy, talking about an open platform approach to low power computing systems design. We have also other talks scheduled to November. So the last one will be with Roberta Burger, working with Infineon in Munich, in Germany. So soon you are going to see the announcement. Next week we have also the NanoConnect 2021. So it's a virtual hybrid event in reality from Montpellier, France. The registration is free. You can go to the website to see the full program. So the first day on Monday 18 is the day dedicated to nanoelectronics. And then this event is sponsored by the Center for Nanotechnology of the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul, Polytech Montpellier, France, Universidade Huachai Tech in Ecuador, and Universidade Simón Bolívar in Venezuela. Also, October 26 to 29 is the next or the fifth IEEE Season School on Digital Processing of Visual Signals and Application. You can go to the website to see the program, and the registration is also free. Then November 16 to 19 is the 17th edition of the International School on the FX graduation on the embedded system for space applications. So we are not able to do an in-person event this year again, but it will be a nice virtual event. So you can go to the web page to see more information. And in a few days, you are going to see the name of the speakers that are already in the program. Also, December 11, 12 is time for the Women in Secrets and Systems and the IEEE CAS meeting. So put in your agenda, virtual edition again this year. Soon you are going to have also more information. Also, the IEEE CAS Student Design Competition registration is open. So as you should know, the first step is at chapter level, second one at regional level, and the finals are going to be during ISCAS in Austin in May 2022. And the winners of the regional level, that means Latin America, will have the support of CAS for the travel cost of 3 students, member of the winner team at the regional level. Also, they stay in Austin and so on, and an award with $3,000. So don't miss this very interesting competition that can be a nice record in your CV. Also, if you lost the deadline to submit a paper to the CAS flagship conference for Region 9, that is LASCAS, you can already start working for LASCAS 2023 in Ecuador or LASCAS 2024 in Punta del Este, Uruguay. And as you know, since a few years, the best papers of LASCAS have extended versions in TCAS 2 and TCAS 1. In TCAS 2, the papers appear in the months of the conference. But you can still send your papers, submit your papers to IBERCHIP 2022. It will be already the 28th edition of the workshop. And for the IBERCHIP, you can send papers in English, Spanish, or Portuguese. The deadline is next October 22, as well as the deadline to PrimeLA, that is the 5th conference on PhD research in microelectronics and electronics in Latin America. So you still have time to prepare your submissions. Also, if you lost any of the talks, CAS talks, industrial talks last year and this year, all then are in the YouTube channel, the recorded versions. So we have about 100 talks there. Also, the graduate program on microelectronics of the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul have the submission to become a master student or PhD students open. So please go to the website to see more information. But today we are here to see a talk by César Dueñas, Director of Technology of HCL in Brazil. So the title, as you are seeing, is HCL Engineering Service as a growth driver for the Brazil semiconductor ecosystem. So César Dueñas received his Bachelor Engineering from the Federal University of Engineering at Itajubá, Unifei, and his master from the Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University, Virginia Tech in USA, and with over 30 years of experience in the semiconductor industry. He developed his career in the city of Campinas, São Paulo, starting in 1990 as an IC designer and EDA administrator at Versi Sistemas Integrados, SID Microelectronics Design Center in Campinas, working in several gate array and standard cell projects for consumer and automotive markets. In 1995, he started at high-tech electronics industrial and commercial representative of Mentor Graphics as a resident application engineer at CPQD, provided support and training in IC and PCB design tools. In 1997, he was one of the founders of the Brazil Semiconductor Technology Center of Motorola Freescale NXP Semiconductors, starting as IC designer and EDA administrator, and then serving in various managerial positions until becoming the research and development director and country manager of the NXP Brazil in 2018. During this period, he participated in the development of dozens of microcontrollers and applications processors for the industrial, automotive, and more recently, ultra-low power IoT application. He's currently Director of Technology of HCL Technologies, responsible for the Semiconductor Design Service Division in Brazil. So thank you very much again, César, to accept our invitation. And now the floor is with you to start your talk.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. Thank you for the invitation. I think it's always good to talk to the community, and of course, it's an excellent opportunity for all of you to know a little more about HCL, right? So I will. Let me see. Where are you? Yeah. So first, I will give a brief overview of what the engineering services industry is, right? Then I'll talk about HCL as a whole, and then you will see that it's a very large company, and then we are going to zoom in into engineers R&D services, and then the silicon and system development services where we are part of, right? And finally, I'll focus on HCL Brazil VLSI engineering, right? And how do we fit in the Brazil semiconductor ecosystem, and how we can work together, right, to better our ecosystem here. Okay. So engineering service industry, right? In general, we have two kinds of companies, right? Product companies like NSP that we worked before, Infineon and others, the Intel, right? That their final product are chips. They sell silicon, or they sell chips, right? And there is another kind of company that in engineering services companies, right? The engineering service companies provide a capacity that the product companies need to do their own work, right? Their projects. We contribute with resources, we contribute with expertise, right? And the thing is that IC design, as you all know, is in high demand around the world, right? It hasn't had any crisis there, right? There is always many new designers starting, but actually there is a design capacity crunch, right? There is a lack of resources in almost all specialties, right? Talking from startups to 500, Fortune 500 companies, they need more design capacity. And this is where we we participate as providing engineering services, right? So we need to provide this capacity in a flexible and efficient way, right? Some characteristics of these engineering services companies are trust, right? Is key. We have a very high standards on confidentiality and on security, of course, because we are dealing with new products from all of our customers, right? So we really need to be very careful on protecting that information. Scalability, we need to be very agile in providing the different levels of support, so we can so they can grow or shrink this extra help that they have with engineering services companies, right? And we have a large base of customers, so we have this all this flexibility there, right? And also we need to keep in the cutting edge of technology, so we can provide this and more value to our customers, right? So it's very important that we have a continuous technical development of our teams. And there is a very interesting characteristic here, because our engineers are actually exposed to projects and methodologies of many different companies. And this is a very enriching experience, right? Because they will know how different companies work, what are the differences, and how we can distill good practices, right? And it's a positive feedback there, right? And for the engineers, this is kind of wide eye-opening experience, really, to see how different from startups, as I said, as large companies work, right? And then we can also offer our experience to help better their processes and so on. In the engineering services industry, we have several business models. Here are some examples. There are others, okay? The one very common is T&M, time and material. This is basically to provide a workforce to the customer, right? So I need 5 verification engineers and 2 DFT engineers for X months to do this project, right? Then in this modality, all the resources and the project are managed by the customer, right? So we reduce more. We are adding team members to their team, okay? Another possibility is a fixed price project. So in this case, we can go from small tasks like, okay, we want to complete this kind of simulation in this project. So you will have one engineer working for 3 months, and that's done. And then we have a fixed. They will pay a fixed project for that, a fixed price for that. all the way to complete turnkey solutions, right? So we get a spec and we deliver the GDS, or even further, right? We can also do validation and even handle fund relations and packaging and everything, right? So this is very flexible and many different options there. And the third one is risk and what is called risk and reward. This is a very interesting model where HCL, being a large company, right, they can decide to invest with the customer on a product. So, for example, there is this company that wants to do 3 derivatives of a chip, but they don't have enough resources to do that. So they are losing market opportunities with that, right? So, and they don't have the resources, they don't have money actually to get these resources in their current plants. So HCL can go and invest together with that customer, right? So, and then the negotiation goes, for example, we will get royalties on the final product, as an example, right? There's, again, there are many possibilities there. So this is a very different way of working, right? You have to deal with all these. You have to be very flexible, right? To really be ready to all these kind of situations and do a good job with your customers. Okay. Talking about HCL specifically, so HCL is a 10.5 billion company, right? More than 176,000 employees over the world, right? We are all over the world, 50 countries, 160 nationalities, right? And we have been recognized to be some of the world's best employers. You can see the numbers there, right? It's a very large and fast-growing company, right? And we have several. We have won several awards on, and have very good scores in customer satisfaction. Of course, this is crucial for us to get good. Good reputation, right, and more business from our customers. Okay, there is a lot of involvement also in environment, social, and governance, right? So to make sure that we are sustainable, we are making good wherever we are, right? And we have a very good governance in the company. Okay. Specifically in Brazil, HCL is started in Brazil in 2009, right? There is a sales office in São Paulo and a global delivery center in São Leopoldo, in Rio Grande do Sul. And today we have also delivery centers in Curitiba, São Paulo, and Campinas, and on-site presence in 9 states. So HCL, besides semiconductors, is a small part of HCL, right? We have a lot of customers that actually we do IT services, help desk, right, infrastructure, application, business process outsourcing, right, and all the right now. Just this year we brought semiconductors here to Brazil, but until now it was more software oriented, right, application oriented, business process oriented. So we have in all the models I mentioned, right? We even took some customers gave us the whole operation to manage their whole operation to manage from them, right? Actually doing the products from back office to actually developing the products. Right now we have more than 800 employees, right, and more than 40 customers in Brazil. These 40 customers are for this other part of HCL. Semiconductor, all our customers are international in other countries. We expect that eventually we will have some customers here in Brazil. We can provide services to our local companies as well. Okay. Okay. So within HCL, we have a division called HCL Engineering and R&D Services. Okay. And then we, as you see, it's very the breadth is very wide. So from embedded software to hardware and VLSI design, where we are, right? Mechanical engineering, product testing, plant automation, and all kinds of software and product and platform engineering to digitalize the way that our customers work, right? We have more than 350 customers around the world, including 61 of the 100 R&D companies, top 100 R&D companies, right? And in this part of the company, we have 33,000 employees, right? And we actually work with several verticals. So we attend aerospace, automobile, industrial manufacturing, medical devices, right? Office automation, telecom, consumer electronics, and others, right? And semiconductors, that is our focus here. Okay. Within ARS, that is the engineering and R&D services, we have the silicon and system development services, right? That is more close to us. We attend all these verticals here, right? But then we have specifically VLSI engineering, where we are. So from FPGA to ASICs, SoC design, verification, all the physical design, the FD, emulation, post-silicon validation, and the fourth analog mixed signal, right? We do product development, I said, from spec all the way to the final product, and testing, right? We do not only the chips, but all the high-speed board design, and even mechanical design together with the product, right? Firmware, all kind of software, embedded software, right? And support services, right? So test features and certifications and all kind of essays, right? And also test labs. We have very large labs around the world on all of these possibilities here. So validation of high-speed interfaces, right? EMI, MSI, antennas, RF, and so on. Okay. In this part of the company, we have 3,000 engineers, a little more than 3,000 engineers. And this part, we have more than 25 years of services, right? On VLSI engineering. Right? So it's a very experienced team. And so, as I said, we have all kinds of models of engagement, but we can do turnkey projects, right? From, as I said, from the specification to all the disciplines, right? And we have partners, so we can do fabrication, packaging, right? We do the testing in HCL and all the logistics support, and even more validation and design. So we can give the final product to our customer, right? It depends what they want to do. And then we have, of course, all kind of partners from IP and processors, foundries, right? And all the packaging, assembly, and testing as well. So as a very large company, we have very good relations and very close strategic relations with these guys. So, for example, if there is a startup that doesn't have any idea on how to approach a fab, we can provide all that service there, right? And so on and so forth. So we have several certifications, and we are trusted partners with TSMC, ARM, and other companies as well. Okay. As I said, we have a very large and state-of-the-art labs around the world, right? Even including clean rooms, right? and all kind of certification equipment. Cellular emulation, so we have a very large emulation farm, right? Qualification labs, and so on. Okay, this is a possibility that we are exploring here in Brazil as well. This will be a very interesting vector of growth for us. Okay, and now coming to HCL Brazil, right? Basically, we are what we call we call ourselves BSTC, Brazil Semiconductor Technology Center. This has been the same name from all the company names that we have on top of us. So from Motorola Semiconductors to Freescale to NXP and now HCL, we continue this team that started more than 23 years ago, right? And we have developed many dozens of microcontrollers application processors and a digital nano IP, right? We are based in Campinas, São Paulo, and we have basically all the skills in this, all the disciplines to do IC design, validation, right? And also EDA and embedded software. Okay, so we have a team this is another team that we plan to grow, right? Where this team has more than 110 patents in its history, right? And we have several domain expertise from our past jobs, so automotive, consumer, power management, ultra-low power, and others, security, ARM, RISC-V subsystems. And we have a very experienced team, as you can see, right? So more than half of the team have more than 15 years of experience, right? And then right now we are working to build our base, to grow our base, so the less experience. We have a very good framework here to bring new grads and people with less experience to actually grow together, right, and have more capacity to attend all our customers, possible customers. So the objective of this team here in Brazil is to make Brazil as a service hub for America and Europe. As you all know, we are very conveniently located between both in terms of time zone, right? And in services, normally, because most of the service companies are located in India, as HCL is an Indian company originally, right? They have the largest number of persons are there for now. We plan to grow here in Brazil as well. And they call India is normally referred to as offshore, right? And then we have people all over the world. So in the US and Canada, for example, we have employees there. They are called normally on-site or onshore, right? And we are in the middle, right? So we are not there, but we are kind of in this line with the same time zone. So we are calling nearshore, right? So this is a way to refer to the kind of services we have with the convenience of time, so we can work together, have more overlap with our customers. In the first 6 months, we grew the team by 20% already, right? And we are already working with more than 15 customers, with several Fortune 500 companies. So we have from startups to the largest companies out there in the semiconductor industry, and several kind of projects like ARM-based SoCs, advanced power management ICs, instrumentation data paths, and artificial intelligence, die-to-die interfaces, right, for chiplet kind of applications, and EDA as well, right? So we grew 20%, as I said, in the first 6 months, but our plan is to continue growing our team around 20% per quarter, okay? This, of course, is very aggressive, but we need to do that because, I mean, the opportunities out there are fantastic. We never have enough people, right, to resource all the opportunities we have on the table. For example, one of these opportunities so these are for several different projects that are being prospected, right? But then there is another modality, is what is called an ODC, Offshore Design Center. We are in negotiations for this possibility from several companies, and this model is that actually this design center comes an extension of the customer. So we are not linked by VPN, but actually we have a direct link into their network. We are inside their intranet. We have dedicated resources, right, in a secure area. So those are kind of captive resources for that company. It's really an extension of that company. And normally these ODCs require from 50 to 300 persons per customer. So you can see we can, and we will need explosive growth if we land at least one of these opportunities, right? And of course, the thing is that in a service company, what we sell is the work of our employees. So we grow revenue by growing our capacity, and that's why we need to have this very ambitious growth in our team. Okay. So what is the role of HCL Brazil VLSI Engineering, right, in the semiconductor ecosystem? First of all, I think we have a very good message here, and we have been discussing this in several forums already. We need to work with universities and other players to renew the interest in the microelectronics career path. As you know, for several reasons that all you know, we have been losing interest from the students into coming into microelectronics. We are losing a lot to software, that is a much larger industry, right? And Brazil has a lot of excellent talent for that. But I think we can work together to really steer back the interest of the students into this area, right? So we can have more resources to everyone in all the companies that are here now and may come in the future to Brazil. Also, we would like to eventually provide engineering service to local companies, right? As I said, we work with small companies as well as very, very large corporations, so we know how to do that. We know all the pain points of small company startups, and we can help them grow and achieve more faster with our support. Also, there is an interesting opportunity here, actually, to partner with local companies to fulfill the market needs. That means that we actually subcontract other companies. This is already a very established practice, right? So we can partner with a smaller company here in Brazil, so they participate in the bids with us, right? And they can actually sell their services through HCL. What is the advantage of this? That they will have access to very large opportunities in large customers that wouldn't have access otherwise, right? Because normally these guys really want to see a very large company that they will know they will deliver, they will know they have the capacity to substitute resources when needed, or grow the resources very fast, right? They are very solid. So this is, I think this is a very interesting opportunity to other companies here in Brazil to work with us. And this, for us, is an opportunity to actually have more resources to sell to our customers, right? Quicker than actually going to all the way of prospecting, hiring, and so on. So I think this is a very positive and interaction here that we can have. And last but not least, job creation, right? As I said, we have a very ambitious growth goals, and for this, certainly, even if we go and say, okay, we're going to hire every a semiconductor engineer in the market here in Brazil to work with us, we won't have enough. So we really need to focus on getting new engineers, new persons into our field. So we have already a plan in place to hire and train new grads in IC design and related disciplines. All of these are mentioned here, right? So we are already in talks with several universities. We have been delivering, for example, some talks there to the students to motivate them to they know better the field, right? And we are working already also with professors for them to recommend students that could fit our requirements, right? And we already hired the first batch, and we will continue hiring every quarter, right, or every semester, depending on when we have the graduations there, right? So we already are interviewing people that will graduate at the end of the year, and we're ready to go to come to HCL, have a period of training, right, and then go directly into customer projects. Some of this will be internal training, some of this will be on the job, hands-on training. That is the fastest way to learn, of course. But of course, we need to make sure that everyone has a good base to build on. Okay. So this is where we really can have the capacity to make our ecosystem to grow very fast in the following months and years. Okay. And finally, we this month we hired Natalia. She is our recruiting specialist, talent acquisition specialist, and she today she started to publish or refresh all the opportunities that we have open at HCL in LinkedIn. You will see that. I will share them there as well, and share the links in SB Micro list and others, so you can see. These are for what we call lateral hires. So we have opportunities already for more experienced persons, right? But besides that, we have this program of freshers, where we know that there are people that are just entering the market and they need to be trained really to start producing, right? So you will see the announcements there in LinkedIn, but Natalia's email is here. She is the main contact for that. And I think that's what I had to discuss. You see, this is a different presentation that I did when I was in NSP, because in NSP we were a product company, so we had a lot of projects to showcase, right? And now, since we are a service company and we have a very strict confidentiality agreements with our customers, we cannot talk about the name of the customers or what projects we are doing with them, right? So really, that's why I need to give a different flavor to this presentation. So I hope that you have a good idea now what HCL is and what we bring to the game, right? And we hope really to have a very good relationship and collaboration with all the academic community and with all our other companies here in Brazil. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'm open to.
So thank you, César. So if anyone has a question, I hope so, you can put your questions in the chat channel, and then I will read it to César. By the way, before starting the questions, if you want to see some very nice things that César was doing when he was at NXP Freescale, you can see the talk that was done last year, and it's recorded and it's available in the YouTube channel. And if you see his talk from last year, you are going to see what is the relationship between Freescale and Formula One cars. I will not tell you, you have to go there to know about. It's a very interesting result. So I have a question here by Lucas Araújo. So he's saying that he's an electrical engineering student at Federal University of Paraíba in the Northeast. And right now I am a research project working with microelectronics. It's a field that I am intending to work with. My question is, there will be internship or trainee program sooner?
Yes, very good question. Yes, actually, this program I mentioned for new grads is exactly that, a trainee program. Okay, so you can apply. You can send email to Natalia. We will now that she's here, we will structure better all our communication for hiring, right? We directly with professors on that. You can right now you can apply through sending an email to her, and eventually we will provide other means to do that. Okay, we started structuring an internship program. However, there was a strategic decision done at the corporation level that we really need to focus now on this trainee program because the demand is so high that we need to focus all our effort in really bringing all these people and start working on these opportunities that we have right now. Once we have a larger team, then we will have enough infrastructure to really have a very good trainee internship program, right? That will be we can bring the people earlier, right, to work with us. Okay, and learn about the semiconductors.
So if you have more questions, please put as soon as possible here in the chat channel. So waiting for more questions. You talked about EDA. So you are, if I understood well, you are also planning to develop EDA tools?
No. This is actually EDA support. We have customers that need to do that, right? So we can create have methodology to handle the tools and the databases and create work areas and even bring all this environment to the cloud. That's a new tendency now, right? So the small companies, for example, don't need to invest a lot of money in all these computer farms and licenses. They can do in a per use basis, right? So there are many different possibilities there, but this is more. It's kind of system administration and an EDA, an automation kind of job. Okay.
Okay, thank you. There is just a comment here by Karina Maia. She's also from Federal University of Paraíba, but now she's studying at the University of Limoges in France. But her question was the same one of the one from Lucas. No?
Yes, by the way, one interesting comment is that we have already attracted some Brazilian engineers that had migrated to work abroad in Europe or otherwise, and are coming back to Brazil and are working with us. So this is a very positive movement as well.
Okay. So if somebody else has any question, please do it as soon as possible. You are keeping with HCL all the portfolio you have developed in NXP, or it's still with NXP?
No. We exited NXP and then we were hired by HCL. So there's no technology transfer, just knowledge. Okay. So all the patents and IP and all that is HCL. I mean NXP property.
Okay, a question here by Wendell Daniel. In addition to the designing of integrated circuits, HCL also works with artificial intelligence.
Yes. Yes, we do. We have very large teams working on all kinds of artificial intelligence, deep learning, and applying that to all the verticals that we saw there. I think it was announced this week that there is a new agreement with Google to work on that area, for example.
Yeah, I have a comment on this. Is that, for example, nowadays in the development of new EDA tools, there is several ones that are using machine learning and deep learning algorithms, no, in this new EDA tools. So there is a question here by Wenita de Lima Silva. What are the skills HCL search for in analog and mixed signal design?
Yes, so you have to have a very good base on classical control, right? On analog circuits, a good mathematical abilities, right? I think that's basically the basic, and of course, any specific experience already on analog design is more than welcome.
Okay. So I have another question that when hiring, you prefer people with research experience or no?
Yes, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's of course all differentiating experience is good, right? We of course what we do is product development, and we need to apply that to that. So of course, any research is a very valuable development of abilities, and we need to solve very complex problems from our customers. So this is a very interesting skill as well.
So I have another one. In which countries HCL has also design centers for microelectronics?
Many. So here I'm kind of new to the company, so I don't know all the details. That I know that we have people in US and Canada for sure, several countries in Europe, England, Germany, and others. The vast majority of resources are in India, but there are other places in Asia as well. Okay, several cities in India, by the way.
Okay, so I see no more questions here. So thank you very much, Cesar. It was nice to see an overview about HCL activities here in Brazil. You understand well that you cannot talk about the specific projects and companies that you are working nowadays, but this is usual, no?
Yep.
So, but it's great with all the experience your team have to stay doing design in Brazil. So this is very important because, as everybody knows, a country to be an actor in the economy in the world needs to develop in their country some designs and chips and so on. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes?
Yeah, just only one last thought about what you said right now. I think we have all we need to be very successful in the semiconductor industry because we have very good engineering talent. And this is not a capital intensive as a fab, right? For example, and this will, I think we found here a niche of services that we can tap a huge market out there, and this can be a very interesting growth engine for the semiconductor industry and for Brazil in general. Okay, to really participate on all the high tech development out there through services. Okay.
Yeah, nowadays several companies are discovering that there is very good engineers microelectronics engineers in Brazil. So we have
Yeah.
now HCL, and have now also in Silica and Impinge now in Brazil. So it's growing, and so there is a large set of opportunities for people that are willing to work on
Yep.
IC design and DDA. So for several years, there will be a lot of opportunities. So this is a great opportunity nowadays. And anyone that does a good job in the undergrad or graduate courses in the area can choose where wants to work now, because there is a large set of opportunities as in HCL now. So thank you again, Dueñas, César. I don't know if you want to say something more.
Just to thank you all for your audience and for you especially for the invitation.
So thank you very much. So the ones that are attending here can also tell to the colleagues that this talk is being recorded, so it will be available, the recorded version, soon in the YouTube channel. But from now till there, you can attend or see the talk that was done by César last year to know what is the relation between the work of César team and the Formula One cars.
Right.
Thank you very much. And before closing the session, I will just remember you that in 2 days, next Friday, we have a next cast talk by Professor Nader Baghezadeh from University of California at Irvine, talk about some aspects of machine learning computer architecture. So Nader has a very large set of achievements, so it's a well-known professor in the area. So don't miss this talk, and invite your colleagues also to attend. And till end of November, we have another talk each week, always with very nice speakers. And we have a program that is scheduled to the end of November. We are only going to skip the week of 16 to 19, because you are going to have a large set of talks, including the program, invited talks, including the program of the Ceresa 2021 from Tuesday to Friday. So a large set of international speakers talking this hot topic, because as you know, nowadays, the design of circuits, even to work in the ground, need to have protection against radiation effects in critical applications. No? So I invite all you to put in your agenda to participate in this event in November also. So thank you all. Have a nice end of the day, and see you next Friday for the another talks now, 1:30 p.m.
Thank you.
time.
Bye.
So thank you.